All right, this is day 2 of Exponents. All right, I really hope that you're watching this on Sunday or Monday morning and taking notes on it. I'll be checking the notes on 4th and 6th period classes. All right, we got two new properties to add to the exponent rules. First is the zero property. All right, the zero property is that any number to the zero power equals 1. All right, 2 to the 0 equals 1. X, a variable. We don't even know what the variable is, but if it's to the 0 power, it equals 1. The number 4,896, we talk about random, all right, to the 0 power equals 1. Any number you come up with, no matter how big, no matter how big, how long, decimal, complex, anything, to the 0 power is going to equal 1. You're going to have some of those on the worksheet for today, or the worksheet for Monday, so please keep that in mind. All right, the second thing that we're going to talk about today is a power of a power. When I say that, I mean, let's say you got a variable x squared. What would that be to the third power? Right? The power of 3 is on the outside of the parentheses. On the inside, you've got an x squared. Right? Here's what you got to think about what this means. All right, this means inside the parentheses is x times x. Right? You've got this 3 out here that's saying there's going to be that times that times that a third time. So here's what we've got. All right, inside of each one of these is the x squared times another x squared and times an x squared for the third time. All right, so you can pretty easily count those up. That's going to be x to the 6. You get that by multiplying the 2 times the 3. All right, so I want to show you what the difference of this is and this. X squared times x cubed. Right? You know from Friday, you add the exponents in this case because it's x times x times x times x times x. Right? In this situation, you add the exponents and you get x to the 5th. In the power of a power scenario, up top, you multiply the 2 and the 3 as far as the exponents. All right, applying these rules, I'm going to work a few problems here real quick. First one, I've got x squared squared. The square is on the outside of the parentheses, so all I do is multiply the 2 times the 2, and that gives me x to the 4th. All right, we got something new on the second problem. We got 4x, the quantity of 4x. And that's the way you say it in math. Inside the parentheses is the quantity 4x, or the product of 4x, cubed. All right? This 3 on the outside of the parentheses applies to both the 4 and the x. So this is the way this one is going to be. It's going to be 4 cubed. It's like the cube distributes to both the number and the variable. And this is going to be x cubed. All right? Because remember, this is the same as being x to the 1st. So it multiplies and you get x to the 1st. Then you multiply by the 3, you get x cubed. All right, 4 cubed, 4 times 4 is 16, times 4 is 64. And bring over the x cubed. The third problem, all right? We've got the 2 on the outside of the parentheses. So that 2 applies to all three things inside the parentheses, right? So let's do the 3 first. 3 squared is going to give you 9. 3 times 3 is 9. All right, get x squared, square here, and it's squared on the outside, so we multiply. 2 times 2, that's going to give you x to the 4th. Next variable, we got y squared. On the outside we got a square, we multiply, we end up with y to the 4th. Three more problems. I hope you're just not doing this and taking the notes and just trying to get it done just to be compliant and show me so you get your points. I hope you're taking a few minutes to try to actually understand this. So what I would suggest is that you pause the video now and try these 3 problems on your paper. It won't take you more than a minute or two. Give all 3 of these a try. So hit pause and try them. All right? Hopefully you did. Now let's do these. All right, I got b to the 4th, and on the outside of the parentheses I've got a 2. So on this one, all I do is multiply. Gives me b to the 8th. 4 times 2 is 8. Second problem. I've got a number, and I've got a variable with an exponent. This 3 on the outside, the exponent, applies to the number and then to the variable. So the first one is going to be 3 to the 3rd. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. So that's my number. All right, I've got x to the 4th on the inside, in the 3rd on the outside, the power of 3 on the outside the parentheses. So I know I'm going to multiply. This is going to be x to the 12th. Final problem. 2 times x to the 0 power, right? Everything inside of this is to the 0 power. That means this is 1. That's using what we started the video out with the 0 property. So to the 0 power is 1. A little bit harder with this problem. All right. Just watch me do this. What we'll do is I'm going to do this one, and there'll be one similar to this coming up in just 1 second. You can pause the video and try that. All right, this one just looks nasty, and it kind of is. What you need to do is go back to just basic math principles. You want to do your parentheses first. All right, I'm going to bring down this x squared times the y squared times, all right, I've got on this side, I've got x to the 2nd power, y to the 3rd power, and on that side of parentheses, I've got all this to the 4th power. So I know I need to multiply it. 2 times 4 is going to give me x to the 8th, right? Y to the 3rd to the 4th power is going to give me y to the 12th. My parentheses are gone. Now I know that I want to get my like terms together. I've got x squared here and x to the 8th. I add these. All right. There's no power of a power here. Now we just got exponents, and I know that I add these. So this will be x to the 10th, y to the 2nd, y to the 12th. That's going to be y to the 14th. That's your answer. Pretty similar to the last problem. Pause the video, give this one a try before you let me finish it. Just like the last problem, we're going to start this one out. We're going to take care of the parentheses first. This is a power of a power. We got a 2 on the outside of a squared times b cubed. So in this case, we multiply exponents. I'm just looking over here on the left. Okay, a squared times 2 is going to give me a to the 4th. Okay, b cubed, and if I square that, I get b to the 6th. All this is, I'll bring down this a to the 4th and b to the 4th. Now there's no more powers of a power. We've just got straight exponents. So I'm going to add these. I've got a to the 4th and a to the 4th. I add the exponents. I get a to the 8th. B to the 6th times b to the 4th. I get b to the 10th. Last problem. I like to try to keep these videos around 10 minutes, and we're kind of getting close to that right now. All right. We've got x squared, y squared to the 0 power. This should be quick. I know anything to the 0 power is 1. Doesn't matter what's inside those parentheses. It's 1. Right? Now we've got our x's. X times x squared. We know that x is to the first. I add the exponents. I get x cubed times y cubed. I don't do anything with the y. There's no other y's on the same in this problem. So y cubed, and I don't need this 1. That's my answer. X cubed times y cubed. All right. Make sure, if you're a little bit fuzzy on this, watch the part of the video, rewind it to the part that you don't understand, watch it again, take some notes. Be ready to show them to me Monday in class. Have a good rest of the weekend, and I'll see you then.